Hi, hello friends. Welcome back to Night Court Narrative. I hope you guys are doing well. I am Elvish if you guys are new here. Today we are finally back with the Lord series. This is a series by Chantal Tessier. We are currently on book 5. This is Carnage. I did end up having to take a few months away from the series, not because it was bad or not because the writing lacked, but because of how similar each book is. I couldn't do it at the particular time. And if you don't know about the series and you're just picking this book up or this video up, let me explain. Each book has the same society, the same rules, the same values, the same everything. So everything from this series is the exact same. You're just getting a little bit of different plot, different characters, but everything is basically the same. And when I had originally started the series, I did book 1 through 4 back to back to back, and I finally started book 5 a few months ago, and I was like, I'm kind of bored. Not bored with the writing, not bored with the series. It was just bored that it was the same over and over and over again. And I think I'm actually kind of bored with the Duskwalker Bride series as well, because once again, it's the same thing, just different characters. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we are finally back with the Lord series. I'm on book 5. As mentioned, we are on Carnage. This book does follow Saint, and we also have Ashton. What is her name? What is her name? I just read it today. What the fuck is her name? Hold on. It's coming to me. What is her name? Starts with an A. Okay, fun fact, I have not been feeling good for the past few days at all. Actually, Ashton, yeah, her name is Ashton. Okay, I haven't been feeling well for the past few days, so I am kind of like scatterbrained, if that makes sense. So please forgive me. I'm usually way more organized than what I am now, but my brain is like not with me. But yeah, we have Saint and we have Ashton. I am not gonna lie, this book got a 4.75 out of 5, and you know me, I don't do the 0.25s or whatever. I always do like straight on, half, or not at all. But this one did get a 4.75 for me, almost 5. I really, really, really loved the spice in this book. I did like the banter back and forth because, I mean, you know, Saint is kind of hard-headed. He is kind of like that, you do what I say or else, which, I mean, I understand all technical lords are. He is a part of Carnage. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't describe what Carnage is. It's kind of like the lords. Like, they are lords, but it's like a safe haven for the women and I guess men, but at the same time it's still a whorehouse. But like, they have extra like secrets there. I don't know if you read this book and if you can better explain what Carnage actually is, please, because like I know what it is, but like I can't describe it to someone, so I don't know what to tell you. And obviously, as I've said in the previous videos with the series, I can't tell you everything that happens in this book, so I'm going to be very vague. If I were to go into detail, I would get my video removed because of YouTube TOS, so I can't really go into detail. Just know that this book series is very, 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 very heavy on the trigger warnings. So please, especially this book. This book, I think, has the longest trigger warning than the other book, so please read your triggers before going into it. But yeah, we have Ashton. We do find out later in the book that her parents didn't really, kind of did some really shady shit to her, and it kind of set her up for failure, which at the same time really set Saint up for failure because, you know, at the end of the day, we find out that Saint has sort of lied in the initiation, and the initiation is something that's like really, really important to the lords. And I can't necessarily tell you what the initiation is, but ideally, every lord has a chosen. So every lord gets assigned a female, and they are to marry, and ideally they're meant to have children to carry on the lordship, if you will. And the initiation is getting sworn in as the lord's chosen, and you must shaboink your woman in front of every lord. And the massive part about being a lord is purity. So it's technically meant for non-touched women to get shaboinked in front of everyone. And so obviously, because of the shady shit that her parents had done, she wasn't pure, which she didn't know that. She swore up and down. Her parents did hint towards it throughout the entire book, which did kind of annoy me a little bit. Not that they kept hinting towards it, but then like when I finally found out why they kept saying that she wasn't pure, I was like, bro, you guys have been accusing your daughter of being a s'more when you guys did it all along. Shady, wrong, next. But then we find out that Saint did lie to the other lords and the fathers. He was said to put a vial in her, broke it, and then that's how I don't even know how to say that. The smud. Can I say blood on YouTube? Well, we'll see. That's how she ended up bleeding for him, making it look like she was in fact pure. But you know, it in the society, if a lord is caught lying, or if a wife is caught, like, I think it's like cheating, lying, and a few other things, then there is like murder that happens and torture that comes of it. So I really do think that Ashton's parents were doing everything that they could to get rid of her and Saint, which is kind of confusing because originally, I don't remember his name, but Ashton was assigned to a completely different lord, and somewhere along the line, the chosen was switched to Saint. And I want to say, please correct me if I'm wrong because I don't remember, but I want to say that her father was the one that had the lords reassigned. So he already had plans from the get-go to throw Saint and his own daughter under the bus and get them schmilled. But like, I'm still a little bit confused on why. And if you actually go on Goodreads and read all of the reviews, everyone else is also confused by this ending. So it's definitely not just me. So if you're one that's confused about this ending, definitely let me know. But if you're one that like fully understood it, clearly you're God. And I would love to know like how you interpreted the ending, because I'm definitely a little bit confused by it. I will also say the reason why this book did not get a 5-star rating is the lack of plot. And I understand you're going to be like, well, Elvish, this is a dark romance. We're here for the shaboinking. I understand that. But if you go and if you read The Ritual, or if you have already read The Ritual, you will definitely see a night and day difference between The Ritual and like this book, for example. The Ritual was 75% shaboinking, and no, I will go as far as saying The Ritual was like 60% shaboinking and 40% plot, and it was really good. You know, we had the break-in, we had the hospital, we had the whole thing. And with this book, we get maybe like 95 shaboinking, maybe 5% plot. So I do think the plot was lacking in this. I do think that it would have been an even better book if we had a little bit more plot. With the amount of spice that is in this book, though, I do think this book would have been way too long if we had more plot. So it would have either suffered on the spice side or it would have suffered on the plot side. I don't think with how this book went, I don't think she could have compromised one to, or like compromised the spice to add more plot. So with that being said, I do see why it was written the way it was written. I would have just liked to see a little bit more plot. Also, at the very end, we get the little epilogues. This is 18 years later. They now have their children. Obviously, every book in the series, they have children 18 years later. I would definitely love to see a little bit more on their family. I'm very, very interested in their daughters. Actually, these are the first children in this series that I'm actually heavily interested in. So I would definitely love to see their daughters a little bit more. That I don't think we ever would, but if we did, I think that would be phenomenal. I would love to see their story. But yeah, no, I really, really liked this book. I'm very interested. I know Chantel did come out with news of book number 7 coming out next year, so I'm definitely in a rush to finish this series. I only have one more. I know we're gonna read Madness and I think you guys are gonna get the book maybe early January. So Madness is coming. It is the highest rated. It is at a 4.5 solid average with over 80,000 reviews. So I am beyond excited because clearly that is one of the best books in the series. But I really, really loved this book. It was very refreshing. This is such a great series. And if you have not read the series yet, as I mentioned before, please read the trigger warnings. If you just type in Chantel Tessier trigger warnings, it goes to her website and she has a whole list of all of her books with all of her trigger warnings laid out just for you. So please go read them before you read the series because this series is dark, but we love it. But yeah, I do highly recommend this book series. I think the only one I didn't quite like was Sabotage. I did not enjoy that one at all, and that one was only a novella. However, all the others are perfection. I do think The Ritual is still my favorite out of this book series, but this one is close second. Or no, I think The Sacrifice might still be second, and this one might be third. The Sacrifice was really, really good. But I digress. Anyway, that is all I can say about this book. I can talk for an hour more on this book, but then my video would get taken down. So unfortunately, I cannot tell you any more about this book without going against YouTube. But just know this book was very, very good. Like I said, 4.75 out of 5. So definitely, if you have read it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. If you have not read it and want to read it, let me know. And if you just have no intentions of ever picking this book up, but you were curious about this video, let me know down below and let me know what piqued your interest. But until then, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.